for my recording for final public speaking. All right, so has anybody here heard of the Church of Scientology at all? Does that sound familiar? Okay. And do you guys recognize the Leah Remini up on the screen? Kate probably doesn't because she's not. So Leah Remini is a celebrity who probably know from the sitcom King of Queens, and she was a very proponent of the Church of Scientology in the late 90s, early 2000s. And since then, she has come out with a TV series recently as early 2015 on Amy, kind of delving into the truth behind the organization and everything that it does. So she began acting in the late 80s, and like I said, in 2015, she recounted a book, she published a book recounting her time as a church member. So what is Scientology? So from the website itself, it is a religion that offers a precise path leading to a complete and certain understanding of one's true spiritual nature and one's relationship to self, family groups, mankind, and all life forms in the material universe, in the spiritual universe, and the supreme being. So it is a religion that addresses the spirit, not the body or mind, and believes that man is far more than a product of the environment or his genes. And then what they do offer is they offer a lot of websites on their, or a lot of courses on their website regarding how to better revolve around things that are stressful in your own environment. It was founded by a man named L. Ron Hubbard. He founded Scientology and Dianetics, which is the system that they use to relieve disorders by cleansing of the mind and harmful and mental images. So I don't know if at this point anybody kind of has an idea of what this religion really truly sounds like in their mind, but it's culty. It's very cult-like. Everything's spiritual to higher members in the organization. And they even toast on their website and promote the use of celebrities to push their religion out. And their special churches, their celebrity centers are special churches for those members. So a little bit of background about Remini is she joined at age 9 with her family. So 9, kind of just go to church like we all had to do with our parents. They forced us. And they were taken to join their organization called the Sea Organization, which they're forced to sign $1 billion a year contract and work on a ship for their room and board. They don't live with their parents. They're treated as adults. They're basically told to be tough. They have to deal with everything, the mental capacity and load that most adults have to deal with. And these kids are 9 to 13 years old. And after some time on the ship, Leah Remini moved to Los Angeles with her mom and her sisters. They were still members of the Church of Scientology, but they had to work for the church in order to pay off this debt. And this debt, their freeloader debt, is retroactive billing for basically their life expenses on this church. And it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It takes many years to pay off. And a lot of people don't pay it off or leave the church under bad circumstances. So what she is exposing in her documentary is she's coming out and speaking out about what happened when she was involved in the church, what other people have talked about and experienced in the church, and she interviews people who have left under what they call good circumstances or not good circumstances. Everybody, when they leave, if they leave correctly, they have to sign an NDA. They have to have an interview where they're not allowed to speak about any of the hardships they focused, and we're talking about financial, physical exploitation. There's an interview in the first episode of a woman who worked there, and she snuck out in a car trunk. She was 20 years old. She climbed in the back of a vehicle and just stayed in some stranger's vehicle for miles so she could get out. So Leah talks about a lot in the interviews why they're able to do this, and they're able to do this because they have tax exempt status, meaning they have the right to exclude a certain amount of income from taxation to federal government, which means that they have a lot of money that organizations they don't have to talk about, and they can just do anything they want. They hire private investigators to hire people who have left to dig through their trash, people who have left this organization 10, 15 years ago to go through their trash to make sure that they're following these NDAs. It's very crazy. And then a couple more past current members of the church. I think we all know Tom Cruise. He's a big Scientology buff. There's been a lot of discussion about how his and Katie Holmes' marriage broke down over the fact of Scientology. She was not as supportive of it as he was. Elizabeth Moth, John Travolta, and Kirstie Alley.
Woo!
Yeah!
Yay!
So if you have any questions about it, please come to me because I watched the series and it is crazy the things that they get away with.
Woo!